we are going to talk about something that makes our hearts beat a little faster. We are going to talk about that fluttery, confusing, wonderful, and sometimes terrifying experience of having a crush. Whether you are 15 or 50, the feeling of developing romantic interest in another human being is a universal experience. It is a roller coaster that can take us to the highest peaks of joy and sometimes down into the valleys of uncertainty. But here at Happy Aura, we believe that every emotion is a messenger. Every flutter of your heart is telling you something about yourself, your desires, and your capacity to love. So, while there is no single scientific map that perfectly explains the mystery of attraction, we have broken down this journey into 6 distinct stages. These stages are like chapters in a book, and understanding them can help you navigate the confusing waters of romance with a little more clarity and a lot more self-compassion. Let us walk through these 6 stages together. The journey begins with stage 1, interest. This is the spark. The story always starts somewhere, often when you least expect it. You meet someone new. Maybe it is a coworker who just joined your team, a friend of a friend at a dinner party, or perhaps someone you just crossed paths with at a coffee shop. Suddenly, your attention is arrested. You feel intrigued. This stage can happen in the blink of an eye. We often call it love at first sight, but really, at this stage, it is interest at first sight. It is that magnetic pull that makes you want to look twice. However, it does not always happen like a lightning strike. Sometimes, the spark is a slow burn. You might have known someone for a long time, perhaps a close friend you have laughed with for years. And then, one day, something shifts. You see them in a different light. The platonic filter drops away, and you suddenly feel the pull of romantic attraction taking hold of you. This transition can be confusing. A lot of people tend to deny and debate with their feelings at first. You might tell yourself, "No, we are just friends," or "They are not my type." But the heart often knows what the mind is not ready to admit. The moment you stop resisting and accept that there is something special about this person, you have officially entered the first stage. It is a time of potential, where the world feels a little more full of possibility. Once the spark is lit, you inevitably move on to stage 2, curiosity. If stage 1 is about noticing the person, stage 2 is about investigating them. In our modern world, this often looks like digital detective work. Be honest with me and with yourself. Have you looked up your crush's profile on social media? Have you browsed through their old posts, laughed at their tweets from 5 years ago, or watched their stories the moment they were uploaded? Maybe you even felt brave enough to send a friend request or follow them. You do this not because you are obsessed, but because you are curious. You are gathering data. You want to get a better idea about what kind of person they are. Do they like the same music as you? Do they enjoy hiking, or are they more of a homebody? Do they have a good relationship with their family? You are looking for compatibility. You are trying to see if the fantasy in your head matches the reality of their life. Of course, in an ideal world, we would satisfy this curiosity by simply walking up to them and asking questions. But let us be real, having a crush makes us nervous. It makes us feel vulnerable. We are afraid that if we ask too many questions, we will reveal our feelings before we are ready. So we turn to the internet, or we observe them from a distance. We watch how they interact with others. We listen intently when they speak. We want to know their likes, their dislikes, their hobbies, and their dreams. We become students of who they are. This stage is driven by a desire to know and to be known. It is the bridge between finding someone attractive and actually liking them as a person. As you gather more information and your interest grows, you slide into stage 3, infatuation. For many of us, this is the most intoxicating part of the journey. This is the high of having a crush. Now that you know for sure that you have feelings for this person, your brain starts releasing a cocktail of neurochemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. When you are infatuated, your whole world starts to change. Colors seem brighter. Music sounds sweeter. You wake up in the morning with a sense of excitement that you cannot quite explain. Everything seems more vibrant and beautiful to you now that you have found someone who makes you giddy with excitement. You walk around with a permanent smile on your face. This is the stage of the butterflies, that never-ending flurry of nervous energy in your stomach. You feel like you are floating on cloud 9. Every interaction with them feels like a major event. They send you a simple text message saying, "Hello," and you feel like your whole day is made. You reread that text 10 times. They make a joke, and you laugh harder than anyone else. The memory of their smile does not leave your mind for days. Even the mere mention of their name is enough to make you blush and swoon. However, stage 3 is also a time of idealization. At this stage, everything seems perfect. You tend to put your crush on a pedestal. You might ignore their flaws or red flags because you are so focused on how they make you feel. You project your ideal partner onto them. You want this feeling to last forever because it feels like magic. It is a beautiful, euphoric state, but it is important to remember that it is often based on fantasy rather than full reality. You are falling for the potential of who they are as much as who they actually are. But we cannot keep these big feelings inside forever. That brings us to stage 4, sharing. This is a pivotal moment where the internal experience becomes external. You know you are really starting to get serious feelings about someone when you have the burning desire to tell your friends about them. Sometimes your friends are intuitive. They might catch you staring at your crush or smiling at your phone, and they figure it out for themselves. But what matters most is not that they know, but that you want to tell them. You want to verbalize your feelings. You want to say their name out loud. You want to talk to your friends about how your crush makes you feel, the butterflies, the nervousness, the excitement. You list all the things you like about them. They are so funny, or they have the kindest eyes. In this stage, your friends become your council of advisors. You want their advice on everything. You show them the text messages and ask, "What should I reply?" You analyze interactions with them. When they said "see you later," do you think they meant it in a romantic way? You seek their support and their encouragement. You want them to validate your feelings. But a good friend also offers their honest opinion. And this is crucial. Because you are infatuated, you might be blind to certain things. Your friends act as a reality check. They might point out that your crush is not treating you well, or they might confirm that the chemistry is undeniable. It is usually through these conversations that you slowly start to realize the full picture, including the flaws your crush has. This external perspective helps you ground your feelings in reality, preparing you for the next steps. This leads to a fork in the road. Depending on what you discover and how the connection deepens, you will move to either stage 5 or stage 6. Let us talk about the happy path first. Stage 5, falling in love. It is important to distinguish between liking someone and loving them. To like and to love are two very different things. Infatuation is intense and fast, but love is deep and steady. Sometimes your crush turns into something more. You find yourself falling in love with them. At this stage, the fog of infatuation begins to lift. Your feelings for them are no longer clouding your judgment. You have stopped putting them on a pedestal. You see them clearly. You see that they have bad days. You see that they can be grumpy in the morning, or that they tell terrible jokes. You see their insecurities and their quirks. And the miracle is you like them anyway. In fact, you might like them even more because they are real. You get to know them well and grow closer to them in a way that allows you to see their humanity. The butterflies might settle down, replaced by a warm sense of comfort and safety. You start to care about their well-being as much as your own. You want to support their dreams. You feel a deep sense of connection that goes beyond physical attraction. And if you are lucky enough that they feel the same way about you too, then this is the beginning of a beautiful chapter. You are on your way to starting a romantic relationship with your crush. This is where the crush ends and the partnership begins. It is a time of celebration, vulnerability, and mutual growth. Congratulations on finding a connection that has blossomed into love. However, not every crush ends in a relationship. And that brings us to the other possibility, stage 6, falling out of love. This is a difficult but necessary stage for many of us. Sometimes, after the infatuation fades, and you have seriously thought everything out between the two of you, you find yourself falling out of love. There are many reasons this happens. Maybe as you got to know them in stage 4 and 5, you realized they are not as great as you used to think. Perhaps their values do not align with yours. Maybe they treat people poorly, or they simply are not the person you imagined them to be. The reality did not match the fantasy, and it has made you lose interest in them. Or perhaps, and this is painful, you realize that there is very little chance of them ever liking you back. Maybe they are emotionally unavailable, or they see you strictly as a friend. Unrequited feelings are heavy to carry. Eventually, for your own self-preservation, you have to put the burden down. Whatever the reason may be, this stage is about clarity. It has made you reconsider your feelings and snap out of your crush. It is a waking up. Now, I want to be gentle here. It may take some time before you can accept this, depending on how strongly you once felt about them. It can be a painfully devastating thing to go through. It is a loss. You are grieving the loss of a possibility, the loss of a future you had imagined in your head. But I want you to know that this stage is also a victory. It is a victory of your self-respect. Once it is all over and you have finally moved on, you will thank yourself for ending it. Deep down inside, your intuition knew that this person was not right for you. It just was not meant to be. And by letting go, you are making space for the person who is right for you. You are clearing the path for a love that is reciprocal, easy, and real. You realize that you deserve to be chosen, not just to be the one choosing. And then, with time, you heal. You look back and smile, realizing that the crush taught you something about what you want and what you do not want. You think, oh well, maybe the next one to come along will be better. And you know what? They usually are, because you are wiser now. So, my dear friends, those are the 6 stages of having a crush. It is a journey from the spark of interest, through the detective work of curiosity, up to the high clouds of infatuation, through the vulnerability of sharing, and finally arriving at either the deep connection of love or the wisdom of letting go. I want to ask you, do you relate to any of the things mentioned here? As you were listening, did a specific face pop into your mind? How does having a crush feel for you? Is it exciting? Is it terrifying? Is it a mix of both? Can you identify the stage you are in right now? Are you currently stalking their Instagram in stage 2? Are you floating on cloud 9 in stage 3? Or are you perhaps in the difficult transition of stage 6, learning to let go? Wherever you are on this timeline, I want you to know that your feelings are valid. It is okay to be confused. It is okay to be scared. And it is absolutely okay to love deeply, even if you get hurt. The fact that you can feel these things is a testament to your beautiful, beating heart. It means you are open to life. Please do let us know in the comments below which stage you are in. We love hearing your stories, and this community is a safe space to share your experiences without judgment. We have all been there. We have all sent the risky text. We have all waited by the phone. We are in this together. If you found this video interesting, or if it helped you understand your own heart a little better, please like it, and share it with others as well. You never know who among your friends might be struggling with a crush and needs to hear this today. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to Happy Aura for more videos on psychology, emotional wellness, and navigating the complex, beautiful journey of being human. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to explore these feelings. Remember to be kind to yourself today. Drink some water, step outside for some fresh air, and remind yourself that you are worthy of love, exactly as you are. Now, before we truly part ways, I want to offer a few more thoughts on navigating these emotions, specifically regarding the anxiety that often accompanies stage 2 and 3. We live in a digital age where curiosity can quickly turn into obsession. It is so easy to spend hours analyzing someone's digital footprint, convincing ourselves that we know them based on their curated highlights. I want to encourage you to practice mindful curiosity. Mindful curiosity means noticing when you are scrolling out of interest versus when you are scrolling out of anxiety. Are you looking at their photos because it makes you smile? Or are you looking because you feel insecure and are trying to control the situation by gathering information? If you find yourself in the latter category, that is a gentle signal from your body to put the phone down. Come back to the present moment. Remind yourself that a person's social media is not their soul. It is just a billboard. The real connection happens in the messy, unscripted moments of real life. Also, let us touch deeper on stage 6, the falling out of love. We often frame this as a failure. We think, it didn't work out, so I failed. But in the school of life, there are no failures, only lessons. Every crush is a mirror. If you were attracted to someone who was creative and wild, maybe your soul is asking you to be more creative and wild. If you were attracted to someone who was stable and kind, maybe you are craving more stability and kindness in your own life. When the crush ends, do not just walk away with a broken heart. Walk away with the treasure. Ask yourself, what did this person awaken in me? Maybe they awakened your desire to travel. Maybe they awakened your desire to be heard. Take that awakened part of you and nurture it. You do not need the person to keep the lesson. The person was just the catalyst. The growth belongs to you. It is also important to acknowledge the courage it takes to reach stage 5, falling in love. To let someone see you, truly see you, is the bravest thing you can do. It requires dropping the mask. In the infatuation stage, we often wear masks. We try to be the cool girl or the funny guy. We curate our responses. But real love, the kind found in stage 5, requires nakedness of the soul. It requires saying, here is my mess, here is my fear, here is my hope. And that is terrifying. If you are on the precipice of that stage, feeling the fear of rejection, I want you to know that the risk is worth it. Even if it does not work out, the act of opening your heart expands your capacity for life. a heart that has been opened and broken is often stronger and more compassionate than a heart that has never been used. Do not let the fear of stage 6 keep you from the magic of stage 5. Finally, a word on stage 4, sharing. Cherish your friends during this process. Romantic love can be all-consuming. It can make us tunnel-visioned. We can forget to water the other plants in our garden because we are so focused on this one new rose. But your friends are the roots that hold you steady. When the winds of romance blow, whether they are the warm breezes of infatuation or the cold gusts of heartbreak, your friends are the ones who keep you standing. Involve them not just to analyze the crush, but to remind you of who you were before the crush arrived. You are a complete person on your own. A crush is a lovely addition to your life, a splash of color on your canvas, but you are already the masterpiece. Do not lose yourself in the pursuit of another. Stay grounded in your own worth. I hope this expanded perspective gives you some comfort and some tools to navigate your romantic journey. Whether you are at the very beginning, feeling that first spark of interest, or at the very end, sweeping up the pieces of a connection that has passed, you are right where you need to be. Trust the timing of your life. Trust the wisdom of your heart. Thank you again for being part of this community. Your presence here means the world to me. I read your comments, I feel your energy, and I am cheering for you every step of the way. Go out there and love bravely. The world needs more of it. Bye for now.